On July 24, 2012, Ghana lost its sitting president, Professor John Evans Atta Mills. A place was prepared as his final resting place, Asomdwee Park, couched out of his pension for peace. 6 years on, the site to be preserved as a monument in the country's history is desecrated. These pictures remind us so much of some of the scenes during the funeral, which attracted a lot of dignitaries in and outside Ghana. And if you came here some few years back, then of course you bear witness with me that this entire stretch was covered with pictures that told us a lot more about the funeral. But as you can see, the pictures have fallen and no one knows the fate of the remaining pictures. It is not clear when these pictures fell off, but from all indications, it is clear they have been left unattended to for a long period. Our attention was drawn to this electrical box, which we are told supplies electricity for the entire facility. With naked cables, it poses danger to visitors. These metal boxes, we are told, are part of the creations here, but as it stands now, they no longer add any value to the park. Some have collapsed and others rusty. According to the original plan, these uncompleted buildings next to the park are supposed to serve as a library for tourists, but squatters have taken over. Like it's done every year, leadership of the opposition National Democratic Congress, the party under which the late president served, visited the park and expressed their disappointment about the poor management of the park.
We ought to take a decision and find some management to handle this place the same way as the Nkrumah Memorial Park has its management. Immediately after the place was constructed and after the burial of the old professor, the national security took over, and I remember the national security was managing it. I'm not sure any proper structures were put in place for sustainable management. And so when Bavlo Latte left the scene, I'm sure that was where the problems began. Nana Akufo-Addo came to power just less than 2 years ago. And if they inherited a management structure, I don't think they would have abolished it. So it boils down to, the rush with which we put the place together and the fact that we couldn't put in place a management structure to handle it after the barrier.
He is of the view the park should be well packaged as a monumental site to attract people in and outside Ghana, an avenue the country can use to generate revenue. Kwabna Edu Jemfi, TV3.